And hello everybody, welcome back to another Play With Me video this week. This video we will be setting up for the month of August. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a like, subscribe, and tell your friends that I'm posting a new Play With Me video every single Sunday and they should totally check it out. I will also be posting almost every single day over on my Instagram the close-ups of all the spreads that I've ever done at Plan Like That, the same way it's spelled here. With that being said, let's get on with the Plan With Me. So this month's Plan With Me theme is space. If you want to check out last August where I also did space, I'm hoping that this month will go by better. And so far it has, kind of, except there's been some mishaps with the other Plan With Me, but you'll see that later. For the front cover, instead of sketching it out all on their own, instead of sketching it out off camera, I decided to sketch it out on camera, so you could try to imagine what the design is and then be surprised at the end. I always found it really annoying that you already know what it's going to look like and I'm just coloring it in front of you, you know what I mean? So I decided to sketch it out first. I did cut through the parts where I wasn't sure what the heck I was drawing, because that's boring to watch. How many times do you want to see me erase? You know what I mean? For example, you saw me write the word August once, but I actually wrote it 4 times. That's what I mean. Okay, so I'm going ahead and writing the word August with my purple Crayola Super tip, and I'm going ahead and outlining it with my no, it's not Staedtler. What are you? You're a micron pen. My micron pen. And then I'm probably going to give it a drop shadow if I remember correctly. Wow, I didn't realize this video was going to be so long on the front page. I'm sorry. I was being very delicate and detailed in the beginning, and then by, I think, H, I started just, not really caring how close I was to the actual marker. I think I could have made each letter a lot thicker, but I was afraid of how squishy it might get because I barely fit the word August on top of the circle to begin with. And also, did I spell it right? Because it looks so weird to me. When you look at a word for a really long time, suddenly you're just like, is that how you spell it? Same with February and Wednesday. And just is that how you spell it or what? My sister is actually born on this month. I'll give her a call. Anyway, now I'm adding a little drop shadow with my micron pen and adding a little lines, textures, pattern on the edges there. And then on the bottom, now I'm using my Staedtler Fineliner. This is a black Staedtler Fineliner, and I'm just outlining it's not a rocket ship. What is it? A space shuttle? I don't know why I didn't just draw a regular rocket ship like all the other space-themed bullet journals, but I decided to draw a space shuttle because to me they kind of look like jets, and jets are kind of cool. No offense to space shuttles, but I think eventually one day I did go ahead and draw a spaceship because drawing a tiny one of these would have been really hard. Anyway, this is where things go south. I decided to use watercolor again. Love me some watercolor, and by watercolor we all know I'm just wiping my brush on the top of a Crayola Super tip and then dipping it in water and calling it a day. But for some reason I forgot to bring in a napkin with me, and so I just let the water dry onto the paper, and you could see clearly how much it's destroying the paper, and I'm not doing anything about it. So when this dries, the amount of warp that's going to happen to this paper is going to be ridiculous, and I won't learn my lesson. It's just been a really long time since I used watercolor. Anyway, thought the page was pretty plain, so I decided to do a little gradient effect on the word August just by using the same Crayola Super tip and going over the bottom half of the letters. And then, even though space shuttles are white, didn't need to put more color into this, so I decided to grab my gray Crayola Super tip and just fill it in, but a little bit, not a lot. And then I realized that fire isn't white. It's either clear or green or blue or orange or red. I went with orange for this one. It's supposed to be like, you know, flying from a planet. I don't think I drew a planet on where the fire is coming from, because I'm smart like that. I think I should have made the little fire thingies brown, because they're brown, aren't they? Or am I thinking of like the actual rocket that's attached to the space shuttle? I'm so confused now. I wanted to make this like a galaxy looking thing, but the purple was just not dark enough to really have the white dots stand out as much as I'd like them to. So I went back in with my micron pen and drew some planets and some stars. This wasn't planned, and I probably should have maybe went in, instead of with a micron pen, with like a purple Staedtler Fineliner. But guess what? Out of all 10 colors, there is no purple in the Staedtler Fineliner pack. Who knew? Anyway, moving on to the actual monthly setup. I gave up, apparently, on trying to make the cover page any prettier. I thought it would look good, but then it didn't. I don't really understand what happened. I think maybe if I'd have made the word August more of a rainbow instead of straight across, I think it would have looked a little better. Or if I changed the font to a more boxy font, I think it would have been better as well. But you live and you learn, and I've never been good at space themes. I don't know why I keep on trying. I should just, you know, accept my defeats and move on. Moving on to the monthlies. The 100% inspired by the month calendar that I did in July, because I thought it was really pretty and minimal, so I decided to keep with it, really. I had a space up top to write the days of the week, so I went ahead and made them more boxy by first writing them out with my Crayola Super tip, and then later I'm going to go over them, the outline of them with a micron pen. I was waiting to see if it was a Staedtler or a micron. With a micron pen, and then I'm also going to add a tiny little drop shadow, just like I did with the cover page, to keep on with the theme of drop shadowness. This is just a lot easier. I remember when I was sketching this out, and you could see my little notes of my ideas throughout this month of what I wanted to sketch out. When I was sketching this out, I actually sketched out a block letter of the M, and I was like, wow, this is going to take forever. I don't want to do this. There must be an easier way to do this. And then I realized if I just wrote it in marker, it'll be fat enough to be a block letter. So that's what I decided to write down to myself. I said, write it in marker, outline it in pen, and it'll look pretty, okay? I also went ahead, instead of sketching out cloudy galaxiness, I just wrote a little note to myself that just said, put watercolor here, put planets on top of it, call it a day. Because it shouldn't take so long to sketch these out and then have to redo what I already sketched out. Do you know what I mean? This is the lessons that I learned from July's plan with me, because sketching out those waves, or not sketching out, drawing those waves twice, once with pencil, once with marker, and then outlining with pen, took way too many hours of my life. Okay? Too many hours. So now I'm going to try to use this note method in which I write down kind of what I want, and then I go ahead and do it in front of the camera. It might be a little risky, it might look pretty bad, but you know, we will survive. I'm then going ahead and adding little dots for the actual days of the month with my circle stencil from Michaels. And I just found out what a helix circle is. It's like a little roller that you could divide your circles into fractions. You know how people make those trackers that are circles and then a bunch of little segments for each day in the middle? That's done with a helix circle, and or a lot of math and a compass, and or there's also like a ruler on Etsy. It's $10, I think, and it's divided. It's made out of plastic, I'm assuming. And it's divided already into 30 to 31 days. I could buy that or a helix circle. But I feel like a helix circle would be more versatile. You could do a lot more things with a helix circle. But the helix circle also has a lot of bad reviews, as in like little circle in the middle that you use to draw with. It's very wobbly. I don't know which one to buy. Leaning towards the helix circle though, but I have to see because I use an A6 notebook, right? An A6 page is half the size of an A5 page, which, yes, you are very, very close to my book, which is why my hand looks so big all the time. So I have to see if a helix circle is too big for one of my pages, because if it is, then it's pointless to get it. And if it isn't, then like, okay, cool. You know, just investing in some stuff to make my spreads a little bit more prettier. Ooh, can you see how much the watercolor seeped into this page? That happens a lot this month. It makes all the pages look really messy, and I'm not a fan. I don't know why I didn't just get up and get a napkin. God, I must have been so lazy. Oh no. What was I doing? Oh yes. I wrote the numbers out with a white marker. It's like a paint pen, really. I forgot what it was called. I'm so sorry. I've used it before. It worked out pretty well. I wish the tip was a lot thinner so the numbers wouldn't be so, you know, squishy looking. But it worked out. I could read the numbers. Or I could count, you know, whatever. But I just figured the white would stand out a lot better than the black. And then I went ahead and drew a little space shuttle in the bottom left-hand corner and wrote the word August on over that with the number 8, because 8 is the number of the month that this is. Here I did sketch out the planets, and lucky for me, the watercolor did not destroy my sketches. It does later. We'll see in a bit. But it also, like, I also didn't use a lot of color because you could barely see it on camera. I'm sorry. Life is hard sometimes. But anyway, I'm just sketching out the planets and I'm realizing it looks pretty plain. So I think I go over them with Crayola color pencils later. There it is. I didn't realize I recorded it. But I went over them with Crayola color pencils and apparently forgot how to color large things with color pencils. Oh no, what is that scribble? Hello. And then I also color in the planets as well. It just looks like it had a lot of white space and I needed to do something about it. In this particular spread, I made the ring of this planet, it's called a ring, pink. For the rest of the spreads, I made it yellow. Life choices. I also made a very crater planet. It's kind of creepy looking. It kind of makes me feel gross. I don't like it. The details are really nice, but and I drew the rest of the planets with purple and pinks to blend in with the theme. I always try to go for like a purple color theme, but it always ends up pink. I think there's just more pinks in colors than there are purples. Purple is just too close to blue, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just coloring it in. And then finally, we're moving on to the notes and mood tracker page. You can imagine what my mood tracker is going to look like. It's pretty obvious. But I went ahead and just wrote the word notes with my Staedtler Fineliner. And then I went ahead and drew a little space shuttle flying on the top corner away from the mood tracker planets. And yes, that's right. I made my mood tracker a little solar system. And I used 3 colors to represent the different colors of my mood. Mood tracker. I wrote it with my Staedtler Fineliner, and then I was like, oh my god, I have to color every single one of these planets, and I was like, oh wait, no, it's a mood tracker. I don't have to. I just have to outline them. Whee! Awesome! So I went ahead and I outlined them with my Staedtler Fineliner, and then I went ahead and I drew the lines of the, what are they called? The lines of the galaxy? No, the lines of the solar system. The paths on which the planets spin around. And then I colored in the fire from the comments that I also included into this mood tracker. And I think just the fire of the comments. I don't remember if I colored in the rings too. Let's wait and see. Yeah, I think it was just the comments. I think I was just too tired. It took way too long to do the monthly. Whew, and I still had like 5 videos to film after this. Ooh, it was a long Saturday indeed, but I got through it, and you're getting these videos on time because I'm awesome. This is a really long video. I'm running out of things to say. Bear with me, fellas. I think that's pretty much it. I outlined it, and then it looked really plain and non-colorful, so I went over the actual word mood tracker with my what is it called, Crayola Super tip, and then I went over the space shuttle with a little gray to keep it consistent with the space shuttle on the first page. And then of course I had to fill in the fire with the 2 different yellows that I used because I'm fancy like that. And then I added little planets next to the word notes because, again, very empty page, and then that little doodle needed some colors, so I decided to color some of the planets in with my Crayola Super tip, but only after I colored in the letters in the word notes, and then I added word. Wow, that looks really pretty, but look, it's seeping through. The watercolor is just seeping through the page. It's so bad. But that's pretty much it for this Chloe video this week. Thank you so much for watching. How many of you muted me? I want to know. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and tell your friends I post a new Chloe video every single Sunday. And they should check out my Instagram at @plainlikethat, the same way it's spelled here, for close-up shots of all the spreads I've ever made. Tell me if you prefer this monthly setup or last August space theme monthly setup. Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!